My name's Steve. This is Classified Captures, your favorite channel. Lost ancient artifacts from the Library of Alexandria. Shapeshifters. Hauntings. Things that go bump in the night. So why not go take a look? Take a good look at the image on your screen. Let your eyes adjust to the darkness, the empty space, the quiet corner of the room. In just a few minutes, you'll understand why this image has left so many people unsettled. This photograph was shared by a resident who claims it was taken inside their home, a place that has felt haunted for years. Long before this image existed, they described strange sensations and an overwhelming feeling that something else was always there. At first, it was only a suspicion, a sense of being watched when no one should have been present. Over time, that suspicion turned into a belief that a shadow person might be living in the house with them. This time, they believe they finally captured it. In the image, the corner of a dimly lit room comes into view. From behind the wall, a tall, dark shape appears to peer outward from the shadows. Its form is humanoid, and what stands out most are the glowing eyes, fixed and unmistakable, as if the figure is aware it's being seen. According to the resident, this is the same presence that's been following them for years. They describe a constant feeling of being watched, especially when they're alone. Relatives who visited the home have reported similar sensations, the same unease and the same awareness that something unseen is nearby. Until now, though, whatever was causing it never revealed itself clearly. With this image finally shared, the mystery takes on a darker edge. Is this a shadow person caught on camera inside a private home, or a moment when something that stayed hidden for years chose to step just far enough into the light to be noticed? What you're looking at isn't just a nursery monitor glitch. A family recently discovered something standing beside their baby's cot. And what started as one unexplained image quickly spiraled into something far more terrifying. When they first reviewed the footage, they noticed a figure standing right beside the baby's cot. Look at the baby, wide awake, standing upright while gripping the side of the cot, facing this figure as it looks down at them. The shape is clearly humanoid, though slightly hazy, making it difficult to see clear features. Still, the outline is unmistakably human-like. The form is tall and upright with proportions that resemble a person. Later that evening, the family captured a second image. This one is far more disturbing. The figure appears taller and clearer than before. Visible details now stand out. Black hair slicked back, extremely pale skin, a sharp-pointed nose, and a face that looks unsettlingly familiar. According to the mother and the sister, the figure looks almost identical to the sister who lives in the house. That's when the fear escalated. The women began to suspect they were dealing with a mimic. They recalled multiple moments when they heard one another calling out from different rooms, only to discover that no one had actually spoken. Voices were being heard, but no one was there. How many times had they answered a call that never came from human lips? Now, with these images and past experiences combined, they believe something is impersonating them and moving through the house. The nursery footage wasn't just a random haunting, it was a reveal. Whatever this entity is, it chose to show itself to the most vulnerable member of the family first. The real question isn't just what it wants, it's how long it's been living among them, wearing their faces, speaking in their voices, and why after all this time did it finally let itself be seen. What you're seeing right now is real footage of a trend that's sweeping social media. It's called hobby dogging, and yeah, this is exactly what it sounds like, a form of dog ownership without actually owning a dog. Watch closely. People walking around with empty leashes, stepping on the sidewalk to pretend their dog is sniffing the ground, feeding an imaginary dog, even practicing dog commands for absolutely nothing, all without a real animal present. Some people claim it's about enjoying the lifestyle and routine of having a dog without the responsibility, the cost, or the long-term commitment. They want the aesthetic of being a dog owner, the Instagram-worthy walks in the park, the charming persona of someone who cares for animals, all without the actual work of caring for a living animal. But here's where it gets strange. Owning a pet has always been about responsibility, care, and connection. The mess, the vet bills, the middle-of-the-night bathroom emergencies, that's what makes the bond real. Removing the animal from the equation turns it into something performative, a costume you can put on when you feel like it. This raises an uncomfortable question. Are we reaching a point where people would rather perform the appearance of connection than actually experience it, where the aesthetic matters more than the reality? Because if we're pretending to walk dogs that don't exist, what else are we faking just to fit an image we think the world wants to see?
What the are you? Bro.
Ready?
Whoa, 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 whoa! Down!
The world's lost its freaking mind, man. This is just as narcissistic as it gets, crazy. I'm gonna build a Serengeti, I've decided, right outside my house, and I'm gonna have pretend lions, pretend zebras, pretend giraffes, and I'm gonna go out and pretend that I'm getting run by them and hunted by them and stuff, Take it to a whole new level. Why the hell not? Take a close look at this picture and see if anything feels off. 3 women are posing together, 2 sitting on a bench with one leaning into the other, and the third standing on the right. At first glance, it looks like a simple casual photograph. But the closer you look, the more unsettling it becomes. Between the woman standing and the woman sitting next to her, something unusual appears. From the hair of the standing woman, a face seems to emerge, one that does not belong to any of the 3 women. It's peeking through in a way that feels unmistakably real. The women were shocked when they noticed it afterward. The facial features are clear enough to make it difficult to dismiss it as a trick of the eye. Some say it's just pareidolia, our brains seeing patterns that none exist, but others cannot shake the eerie realism of it. Looking at the image, the question remains, is this a strange coincidence, or is something far more mysterious hiding in plain sight? Watch what happens in this footage. A man has been trying to convince his family that the house is haunted, but no one really took him seriously until now. In the video, he's outside on a ladder hanging Christmas lights on the house. The ladder is positioned diagonally and it's stable and properly placed against the wall. Everything looks normal. He's working carefully, securing the lights along the roofline. Then out of nowhere, something appears to push the ladder backward. Watch it again. You can see it lift away from the house, causing the man to fall straight to the ground. There's no visible reason for the ladder to move like that. No one else is around, there's no strong wind, nothing obvious makes contact with it. The ladder doesn't slip or slide, it moves backward as if pulled or shoved by an unseen force. Thankfully, the man says he's okay after the fall, but he believes this incident is proof that something else is present around the house. According to him, whatever caused the ladder to move didn't feel accidental, and it didn't feel friendly either. Look at the way the ladder moves. Ladders don't just detach themselves from a wall when they are properly positioned. They need force. And if no visible person or object provided that force, then what did? The timing is what makes this so disturbing. It happened while he was elevated and vulnerable, completely exposed. Almost as if whatever's in that house wanted him to know it was there, and that it could reach him anywhere on the property, even outside. Strange sights have appeared in the sky for as long as people have looked up. Over the years, there have been countless reports of cloud formations that seem to resemble entire cities, towers, and skylines suspended above the ground. Many of these can be explained as pareidolia, the mind finding familiar shapes in random patterns. Others, however, are much harder to brush aside. That's exactly what happened recently in Houston. Multiple videos began circulating online, all showing the same unusual cloud formation. At first glance, it looks unmistakably humanoid. A tall figure appears to stand in the sky with what looks like massive wings extending outward from its back. The shape is striking, almost deliberate, as if carefully formed rather than randomly scattered. People who witnessed it in person said the sight sent chills through them. Even watching the footage afterward, it's difficult to ignore the emotional reaction it provokes. The figure appears symmetrical, detailed, and far more defined than most clown formations. The wings in particular seem almost sculpted, stretching outward in a way that feels intentional. Because of this, many believe it could be more than a coincidence. Some view it as a spiritual sign, while others suggest it may represent an angelic presence or a symbolic message meant to be seen. Skeptics argue that clouds are capable of forming endless shapes and that this is no exception. Still, even among those explanations, something about this information feels different, leaving many people staring at the sky a little longer than usual. This clip comes out of a church in New York, and it has sparked intense debate online about what is actually being seen. In the video, the camera slowly pans across the congregation. At first, everything looks normal. People are seated, listening quietly, nothing out of the ordinary. Then the camera lingers on one person sitting among the crowd, and that's where things take a strange turn. As the footage zooms in, viewers notice a woman with dark hair whose face appears oddly distorted. Her eyes look unusually dark, almost unnaturally so, drawing immediate attention. Some viewers believe this could be something far more unsettling. Theories range from a black-eyed entity to a shapeshifter, or even something demonic sitting unnoticed among the congregation. Others push back, saying it's likely a normal person caught at an unfortunate angle, possibly wearing dark glasses or affected by motion blur, which can dramatically alter facial features on camera. There's even a more humorous theory circulating online, with some claiming the figure resembles Michael Jackson. While the idea is clearly exaggerated, it highlights how quickly speculation can spiral when footage is unclear and unsettling. When you watch the clip for yourself, the real question lingers in the background. Are we seeing nothing more than a technical distortion, or is this one of those moments when something unusual slipped into frame, hiding in plain sight among the crowd? Personally, the woman just looks like me with a hangover. People have seen it happen time and time again. Someone ignores the warning signs, brings something strange into their home, and only realizes too late that it should have been left alone. This story feels like another case of curiosity opening a door that should have never been touched. The story centers around a man with a long-standing obsession with animatronics. He actively collects them, fascinated by how they look and how they move. One day, while walking through the woods, he came across something unexpected. Lying abandoned was a clown animatronic. According to him, it gave off a strong and foul odor, a detail that should have raised concern, but his fascination overpowered his instincts and he decided to take it home. Once there, he began inspecting it more closely, and that's when things took a disturbing turn. Inside the animatronic, he discovered bones. At first, he assumed they belonged to an animal, though even that realization alone was unsettling. Still, he cleaned the animatronic and placed it inside his closet for the night, planning to examine it further the next night. That night, while filming, something strange happened. The clown was no longer where he'd left it. While inside the room, the closet door suddenly shut on its own. With the discovery of the bones and the unexplained movement, speculation quickly spread. Many began questioning whether this animatronic was ever just a prop at all. Some believe the clown could be haunted. Others fear the bones may not be animal but human, and that whatever they once belonged to could now be attached to the object itself. One thing is clear to many viewers: bringing something like that into the home may have crossed a line that should never have been crossed. What would you have done if you'd found it?
I decided to take Bone Gong the clown back to my home. He's been out here rotting for years, but while dragging him I made a quite disgusting discovery of huge animal bones falling out of him. Finally home, but Boingok will have to stay outside for now due to the things inside of him and the black mole.
How many times have we seen this pattern with Disney stars and child actors? They grow up in the spotlight, performing and working non-stop from a very young age, only to come forward years later with disturbing stories about what happened behind the scenes. Over and over, it seems to follow the same troubling narrative. One example often cited is Demi Lovato. As a teenager, she was already writing her own songs, touring, acting, and performing at a grueling pace. By the age of 16, in interviews, she revealed she'd already experienced a lot in her young life. As time went on, more interviews surfaced where she spoke openly about trauma and alleged abuse during her early career, including incidents she says occurred while working within the Disney system. According to her statements, she often felt unheard and unsupported, as though what she was going through was dismissed or ignored entirely. Those responsible, she says, faced no consequences and continued their careers as if nothing had happened. These revelations raised uncomfortable questions. Why do so many former child stars share similar stories? Why were these concerns not taken seriously at the time? And if these accounts are accurate, why does it seem like the system remains unchanged, letting the same patterns repeat? It leaves you wondering what really happens behind the bright lights and fairy tale image of Disney, how much of what we see is genuine and how much hides a darker reality.
Amazingly enough, you're 16 years old, you wrote most of your songs. You're 16, where does your inspiration come from?
Believe it or not, being 16, I've been through a lot, so...
Come on, how much heartbreak can you have at 16?
Oh, a lot.
We were hooking up, but I said, hey, this is not going any farther. I'm a virgin and I don't want to lose it this way. And that didn't matter to them. They did it anyways. And I internalized it and I told myself it was my fault because I still went in the room with him. I still hooked up with him. Here was the thing. I was a part of that Disney crowd that publicly said they were waiting till marriage. I didn't have the romantic, first time with anybody. That was not it for me. And that sucked. And then I had to see this person all the time. And you know what? It. I'm just going to say it. My Me Too story, that someone did this to me and they never got in trouble for it. They never got taken out of the movie they were in. Just kept it quiet because I've always had something to say, and it's like, I don't know, I'm tired of opening my mouth, so there's the tea.
An intriguing video has emerged from Cuba showing a man filming himself as he walks down a street at night. In the background, cars pass by, but there's something strange about them. None of the vehicles look like the modern models you would expect between 2021 and 2025. Instead, they all appear to be older cars, the kind you might associate with the mid-20th century. The man makes a bold claim. He believes he somehow time-traveled back to 1956 and the vintage cars moving through the streets are proof that something unusual had occurred. Viewers, however, were quick to suggest a more grounded explanation. Cuba is famous for its large number of vintage cars still in everyday use. Decades of trade restrictions and limited access to newer vehicles have meant that classic cars are maintained, repaired, and passed down through generations. For locals, scenes like this are completely normal. For anyone familiar with Cuba, particularly cities like Havana, this kind of street view is not unusual at all. It leaves one wondering how much of what seems strange to outsiders is simply a reflection of a place with a unique history and culture. Have you ever seen streets like this in Cuba?
Aquí andamos en el puente de San Francisco de noche, miren nomás qué bonito. Y pues es 1956, pero yo vengo del 2025, traigo mi chamarra negra bien calientita. Oh, it's an iPhone. It records and takes photos like a little camera.
Imagine hearing this from your 4-year-old child and trying to explain it away. A father recently shared a story that left him deeply shaken, not because of what he saw, but because of what his son kept saying. His 4-year-old son, an only child, began telling him that he missed his brothers and sisters. He didn't say it once or twice in passing. He said it repeatedly, with real emotion behind his words. According to the child, when he was a little baby, he had brothers and sisters and now they were gone. He said he missed them deeply. The parents were left confused and disturbed. In this life, the boy had never had siblings. There were no miscarriages, no adoptions, no family history that could explain where this idea came from. What made it even more unsettling was how he spoke about it. He didn't sound like he was pretending or making up a story. He spoke with certainty, as if he were recalling something real. This is where a more unsettling theory enters the conversation. Some believe that very young children may retain memories from a past life or possibly from another reality, dimensional parallel existence. According to this idea, as children grow older, these memories slowly fade. But while they're still young, they may talk about them openly without understanding how unusual they sound. Listening to this story raises a chilling question. Is this simply a child's imagination at work, or could he be remembering something that does not belong to this life at all?
Actually, my son, he's been saying he misses his brothers and his sisters, which is really confusing to me. He's only 4 and he's the only child. He just randomly says this at times. Daddy, I miss my brothers and sisters. And I tell him he doesn't have any brothers and sisters. And he says, yes, I do. Well, I did. I had brothers and sisters when I was really little. When I was a really little baby, I remember my brothers and sisters. And they're gone now. And I miss them, Daddy.
Some men were out boating when something unusual caught their attention in the distance. From afar, the island looked strange, but as they drew closer, they noticed movement along the shoreline. That alone was enough to raise their curiosity, since the island appeared completely isolated and uninhabited. One of the men pulled out a camera and zoomed in, and what they saw made the situation far more unsettling. On the shore, a slender figure appeared to walk along the edge of the island. It was upright, clearly bipedal and humanoid in shape. The exact location of the island remains unknown, and it's unclear if anyone lives there. Some suggest it could simply be a person seen from an odd angle, or perhaps a trick of perspective. Others, however, argue that the figure looks far too tall and unusually proportioned to be human, pointing instead to the possibility of a giant or an unknown humanoid creature inhabiting the island. Looking at this footage, one question lingers. Are we seeing an ordinary human from a strange perspective, or could this be something entirely different hiding in plain sight on a remote island?
You see that? Between the trees, it's just standing there. Wait, move. Move, wait. Stop the motor, go!
With all the AI-generated videos flooding the internet right now, your first instinct might be to call this fake. But what you're watching is completely real. This is a pig, except it looks nothing like any pig you've ever seen. It's packed with muscle, dense, intimidating. When it opens its jaws, you can see the raw power behind them. This thing looks like it could take a bite out of you without breaking a sweat. Meet the Duroc pig, a real documented breed that looks like it was designed in a lab but has been around for generations. These pigs are known for extreme muscle mass, solid build, and serious size. Look at how thick and compact they are compared to regular farm pigs. That bulk isn't fat, it's pure muscle and dense body structure. Duroc pigs were bred specifically for strength, fast growth, and high-quality meat. That's why they look absolutely terrifying if you've never worked with livestock. But this isn't CGI, this isn't AI manipulation. This is what selective breeding can create when you push for power and size over generations. Nature can be just as unreal as anything artificial. This man is known for exploring abandoned properties around the world, especially places with long histories and unsettling reputations. One location in particular stands out, an old school that has been abandoned since the early 1900s and is widely believed to be haunted. According to local history, the building once operated as a women's institution. As he walked through the empty halls, he began hearing unexplained knocking sounds and strange noises echoing through the building. He couldn't see anyone else inside, and there was nothing obvious that could explain where the sounds were coming from. The atmosphere quickly shifted from quiet exploration to something far more unsettling. Hoping to document whatever might be present, he decided to use an EVP recorder. He asked out loud if anyone was there. Almost immediately after, when he reviewed the playback, something disturbing came through. Instead of static or faint noise, the recording captured what sounded like intense screaming, the voice of a woman in clear distress. Because the building was once a women's institution, many believe the sound could be connected to the school's past. Whether it was a paranormal echo or something else entirely, the recording has left many questioning what might still linger within those walls. What do you think was captured in that moment?
I don't think anyone's explored this place, never mind a paranormal investigation here. And they do not seem happy about it whatsoever. What the f*** was that?
Can you give me a name of somebody that still resides here today?
Long ago, there was a place known as the Library of Alexandria, a name still spoken with awe and regret. It was considered one of the greatest centers of knowledge the world had ever known. Within its walls was a vast collection of scrolls, texts, and records gathered from across the ancient world, covering science, medicine, astronomy, mathematics, philosophy, and history. Scholars traveled from distant regions to study there, to debate ideas, and to preserve everything humanity understood at the time. Then, somehow it was lost. The Library of Alexandria was destroyed, and with it vanished an immeasurable amount of human knowledge. Some estimates suggest that up to 90% of ancient records may have disappeared along with it. Knowledge that could have reshaped our understanding of history, technology, and even human potential itself. What makes this loss even more unsettling is that we will never truly know what those texts contained. They may have held advanced scientific ideas, accounts of forgotten civilizations, lost languages, or discoveries far ahead of their era. Answers to mysteries and gaps in history that still puzzle us today may have burned away in that destruction. All that remains now are fragments, passing references, and second-hand mentions of what once existed. A reminder that humanity's greatest treasure was not gold or power, but knowledge, and how easily it can be lost forever. Recently, an incident in Texas caught a lot of attention when a man claimed that a meteor had fallen directly onto his property. After the impact, he went to the exact spot where it landed and found a deep hole in the ground. The earth looked freshly disturbed, as if something had slammed into it with real force. Seeing something like that up close is unsettling, especially when you consider that objects falling from the sky can sometimes carry radiation or materials we don't fully understand. What makes this more intriguing is that this doesn't appear to be a one-off event. Similar reports keep surfacing from different places. People describing balls of fire streaking across the sky, glowing objects falling at odd angles, and strange debris turning up afterward. Some believe these sightings can be explained by meteors or space debris burning up as it enters Earth's atmosphere. Others are not so convinced. That's led to deeper questions. Could something be changing in our orbit, or is Earth passing through far more debris than usual? And then there's the theory that some people cannot shake, the idea that not everything falling from the sky is natural at all. What if some of these objects are not meteors, but something else entirely? We've seen stories like this play out in movies countless times, but moments like these make people wonder where fiction ends and reality begins. Are these events simply cosmic coincidences, or signs that something far stranger is happening above our heads? What if time is not as simple as we have always believed? For most of human history, we've thought of time as a straight line. The past is behind us, the future is ahead, and we move through it 1 second at a time. Clocks tick forward, life moves on. That idea has shaped how we live and how science works. But some physicists are now suggesting something far stranger. According to new ideas coming from quantum physics and advanced theories of the universe, time may not be one straight path at all. Instead, time could exist in 3 dimensions, just like space. To picture this, think about how you move through the world. You can walk forward, step sideways, and move upward. Now imagine time working the same way. Instead of events being locked into one single timeline, the universe may exist inside a larger space of time where moments can move in different directions. If that's true, cause and effect might not be as fixed as we think. Actions may not only shape the future, but also reach backward in subtle ways. Entire timelines could split, reconnect, or exist side by side like paths in a vast web. Scientists point to strange discoveries in quantum experiments to support this idea. In studies involving entangled particles and time symmetry, particles sometimes behave as if they're responding to information from the future as well as the past. These results are confusing under normal rules of time, but they start to make more sense if time is layered rather than flat. The math behind this theory is still being worked out, and no one claims to have final answers yet. But if this view of time turns out to be true, it could change how we understand free will, parallel universes, and even human consciousness. Maybe time is not a river carrying us forward. Maybe it's an ocean we're standing inside, deeper and stranger than we ever imagined. You've probably seen this image by now. It's been spreading across TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. A person dressed as a deer, complete with antlers, is standing in the middle of the forest. The story attached to it claims a man in North Carolina identified as a deer painted himself wore antlers and walked through the woods during hunting season. And then, according to the story, he was shot by a hunter. The reactions were split. Some people mocked it, saying if you dress like a deer and walk through hunting grounds during deer season, what do you expect? Others found the story disturbing and cruel, no matter the context. But here's the truth. The entire story is fake. The image has nothing to do with any real incident. It originated around 2020 as a staged photograph designed to mock internet culture and identity debates. There are zero verified reports of anyone being shot under these circumstances. None. But it spread anyway. It fooled thousands, maybe millions of people, because it hit all the right buttons. Outrage, disbelief, the need to share something shocking. Did you believe it when you first saw it? Sorry about laughing throughout that segment there, but I'm not one of these guys that can keep a straight face when I read something funny, and I'm certainly not going to re-record it just because I laughed. I kind of wish it were true.
What the fuck is that?
This footage was taken by an observer in the dark of the night. A strange-looking object with lights on, it was spotted in the sky. The object itself is not visible, only the lights on it can be seen, making it difficult to determine exactly what it is. The lights appear to be arranged in a pattern that suggests a structured form, but the darkness obscures any definitive shape or details. Some people believe it's a UFO, pointing to the unusual formation and behavior of the lights as evidence of something otherworldly. Skeptics, however, think it might be a blue beam projection, a technology purported to create realistic holograms in the sky. What are your thoughts?
What the fuck is that?
A lot of people overlook just how incredible and powerful water can be. I mean, I'm talking about the natural wonders like rivers, oceans, lakes, you name it. Take a look at this beautiful yet terrifying sight. It was captured at a beach where a man spotted something incredible happening out in the ocean. It's a tunnel of water stretching from the sea all the way up into the sky. At the top, there's this ring of clouds that looks almost like a donut, and right in the center of it is where the column of water is coming down from, connecting right back into the ocean. It's mesmerizing, but also a reminder that nature can be terrifying, especially water. It's as if the ocean itself is reaching up to the heavens, and the sheer force of that spout just shows how powerful and unpredictable water can be. Water might seem calm on the surface sometimes, but can equally be terrifying. What do you think of this phenomenon, and have you seen one before? Stepping away from earthly things, take a look at these clouds.
Look, bro, this look like a woman, bro. Look, this look like a whole picture. Bro, come here, look at my phone.
What do you see? Tell me you see them too. The clouds somehow look like a picture involving multiple individuals. I'm pretty sure that's not normal. The individual recording is even shocked himself, and I can't blame him. Once he uploaded the clip, all sorts of theories came from different angles and directions, with some stating it had to be the government's blue beam technology. Others felt it was a sign from God, whereas a small sect believe it was a sign we're living in the Matrix. A very small group held on to Julius's beliefs. The whole thing was fake, and it was meant to deceive the masses. Now we can say with certainty which of these it is, but if it was indeed an attempt to mislead the masses, then certainly whoever planned it has succeeded, because more than 60 to 70% of the paranormal community believe this is real. What about you?
Look, bro, this look like a woman, bro. Look, this look like a whole picture. Bro, come here, look at my phone.
A man kayaking came across something unusual in the ocean. It was a long, strange-looking creature in the water. Curious, he used his paddle to lift part of it up and take a closer look. At first, I thought it might be some sort of eel-like creature, but it was something entirely different. The creature looked like a cluster of transparent organisms all connected. Intrigued, I did some research and discovered that it was real and actually had a name. Yeah, you heard that right. It's a sulp chain. Despite looking at this single organism, sulp chains are actually composed of many individual animals called sulps that join together to form a long, connected colony. Each sulp is genetically identical and contributes to the overall function of the chain. These individuals have specialized roles, primarily focused on feeding and propulsion. By coordinating their movements, the sulps sufficiently propel the chain through the water. This particular sulp chain was mesmerizing in its appearance. Its transparent, barrel-shaped bodies allowed light to pass through, creating a shimmering effect as they moved. The individual sulps were arranged in a rhythmic, linear formation, drifting gracefully in the ocean currents and working in perfect harmony to navigate the vast open waters.
Conyers, and they just sent out a alert for us to shelter in place and close all your windows because this is a chemical fire. So look at those clouds.
This video was taken by a woman driving through Conyers, Georgia, where thick, ominous fumes were billowing into the air from a nearby biolab. The lab had caught fire, and the fumes being released were toxic. Emergency alerts were sent out on September the 29th, urging residents to close their windows and stay indoors to avoid exposure. Just take a look at the density of the smoke. It looks like something out of a disaster film. But this is very real. The fact that it's coming from a biolab raises even more concern. What kind of materials were inside, and how dangerous are these fumes? It's hard not to wonder how this happened and what kind of long-term effects might it have on the environment and the health of the community. Anyone who knows more about this should let us know in the comments section.
Conyers, and they just sent out a alert for us to shelter in place and close all your windows because this is a chemical fire. So look at those clouds.
While you figure that out, you might want to take a look at this ginormous beauty of a specimen.
Oh my God. Oh gee. Oh, a big kangaroo in front of me. I'm scared.
I'm not a zoologist, but that's definitely not normal. The individual who uploaded the clip stated that it was definitely reaching up to 9 feet in height. While that's impressive, I was definitely distracted by those strong-looking muscles. After admiring it for a few seconds and feeling sorry for myself— wait, scratch that, you didn't hear that. Back to my research. I discovered that kangaroo sizes vary by species. The largest, the red kangaroo, can reach up to 6 feet in height with a tail length of about 3.3 feet, and males weigh between 121 to 198 pounds, while females are smaller at around 3.6 feet and 40 to 88 pounds. Eastern gray kangaroos grow up to 5 to 6 feet tall for males, weighing 110 to 145 pounds, while females are typically 4 to 4.6 feet tall and weigh 37 to 88 pounds. Western gray kangaroos are slightly smaller, with males reaching 4.3 to 5.3 feet and weighing 62 to 119 pounds, while females weigh 35 to 82 pounds. While that's a lot of kangaroo information, you can clearly tell that this big guy doesn't fit any of the dimensions stated here. So what do you think we're dealing with?
Oh my god. Oh gee. Oh, a big kangaroo in front of me. I'm scared.
มาฝั่งนี้สิลูกมือหลวงพ่อใหญ่จะได้ถูก
This man lived to the age of 109 and passed away in 2022. He was known as Luang Fo Yai, a revered monk. In his old age, he was bedridden, as you can see in the footage, with his frail body and the outline of his bones visible beneath his skin. Despite his physical condition, he seemed remarkably lively, interacting warmly with his grandchildren and great-grandchildren who were running around his bed. Luang Fo Yai's life and legacy as a monk are profound. Even in his advanced age, bedridden and fragile, his spirit remained vibrant. This video captures a touching scene of a man who, despite his weakened state, is full of life and joy, especially in the presence of his family. Do tell me something, though. Would you want to live this long? What's going on with the weather? As of July 24th, 4 major disasters were hitting different parts of the world at the same time, showing just how serious things have become. In the USA, Oregon is grappling with severe wildfires, which have been exacerbated by prolonged drought and high temperatures. These fires are consuming vast areas of land, destroying homes and causing evacuations. In Italy, severe hailstorms have struck, causing significant damage. These hailstorms are not only a hazard to people and property, but also affecting agriculture, with crops being damaged or destroyed. India is experiencing severe floods, particularly in regions that have been hit by relentless monsoon rains. These floods have caused rivers to overflow, leading to widespread inundation of towns and villages. In Kenya, heavy rains and strong winds have resulted in severe flooding. The torrential rains have overwhelmed drainage systems, leading to waterlogging and destruction of homes and roads. The high winds have compounded the situation, causing additional damage and making the conditions more hazardous. These simultaneous weather-related catastrophes underscore the increasing frequency and intensity of extreme weather events globally. Climate change is playing a significant role in these events, as rising global temperatures contribute to more severe and unpredictable weather patterns. Ever since I saw Aragog trying to eat people he considered friends, my fear of spiders has been heightened, and seeing this clip does not help matters. I know there are big spiders out there, but well, this one feels like it's abnormally large. This left me wondering if it was supernatural, which put me in my research mode. After lots of reading around, I'm certain that this might be the Goliath bird eater. For those unfamiliar with it, the Goliath bird eater is the world's largest spider by mass, native to the rainforests of South America, with a leg span reaching up to 12 inches and weighing as much as 6 ounces. Despite its name, it rarely eats birds, preferring insects, small mammals, and amphibians, and uses its intimidating size and urticating hairs to defense. Interesting, huh? Anyway, do you think I identified it correctly, or is there more to what we see here? A man stumbled upon this massive creature clinging to the stem of a tree in his backyard. It wasn't just any insect. This thing was gigantic, about the size of a human head. Just look at it. It's not every day you see a bug that enormous. But how did it even get there? The man tried to identify the creature by searching online but came up empty-handed. This has left everyone scratching their heads. It doesn't look like a species of moth, beetle, or a cicada we're unfamiliar with. Perhaps it's an invasive creature that travels from another part of the world. Well, who knows? Julius, our science whiz, says it's probably AI, but hey, we're gonna keep an open mind about it.
Here's the biggest thing I've got. This is from an 18-foot person, estimated. Big toe bone, there it is.
That is this part?
Yeah, your very end big toe bone. It's been x-rayed and this person had broke their toe bone and then it healed up.
Now, this video was taken at a facility or perhaps a different kind of place, I'm not entirely sure. But what's certain is that these people have safely kept skeletal remains they believe to belong to giants. The first specimen they show is the big toe bone of what they estimate to be a 19-foot tall person. Just look at that. It's enormous, giving us a glimpse of the sheer size of these supposed giants. The scale of this bone is astonishing. Next, they display the bones of a little finger. The woman in the video explains that they visited a village in Turkey believed to be the burial site of Noah's wife. Noah, for those unfamiliar, is the biblical character known for building an ark to survive the great floods, a story well known among the Christians. In the grave, they retrieved 3 sets of bones, and upon review by experts, it was determined that these bones assembled to form a small finger. Look at how large this finger bone is. It's even longer than the woman's entire palm. This discovery raises fascinating questions about our history and the stories passed down through generations. If these bones indeed belong to giants, they could provide physical evidence supporting ancient texts and myths that speak of such beings.
A human finger with a touch of arthritis. And this is the finger. This is this part of the finger. See, it's this, and this.
I really need your help with this one. I was cooking some spinach and one of the leaves just started inflating, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen. It kind of looks like plastic. Can somebody tell me what that is?
What is going on with our food? There are several clips of people finding odd-looking items that they bought. Here we have a clip of a man who was cooking spinach when this happened. The vegetable began to swell. This is not normal spinach behavior. In another incident, someone bought an avocado, and when it was sliced, this is what they found. The avocado was plastic. The person even twisted the slice, and still it had this plastic look. It did not smash, but twisted like plastic. Here we have another one. A woman bought chicken breast from the store, and while she was preparing one piece, she noticed shards of glass in the chicken. Another person bought cheese, and this is what happened. Instead of the cheese melting onto the fire, it became harder. What is all this? The food manufacturing companies, what is going on with their products? From rubber fruits and vegetables to glass in the chicken, these incidents raise serious concerns about food safety and the integrity of our food supply.
One of the leaves just started inflating, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen. It kind of looks like plastic. Can somebody tell me what that is?
What is it? Raylan!
Two women were working a late-night shift and had stepped outside by the side of the road when they noticed something eerie in the darkness. There, in the shadows, was a strange figure. It had a human-like shape, but it wasn't solid. Instead, it appeared shadowy, blending into the dark surroundings. The way it moved toward them sent chills down their spines. Could this be one of those mysterious shadow people that many have reported encountering, or was it just a trick of the dim light?
What is it? Raylan!
What the fuck is that? This next one was recently shared footage on TikTok detailing a series of unsettling encounters the one recording had with an apparition. In the first clip, he was out walking his dog when he noticed two glowing orbs in the distance. They hovered far ahead, and after a few seconds, they vanished without a trace. But that was not the end of it. Moments later, the eerie sound of footsteps began approaching him, though no one was visible. Then it appeared. A humanoid figure, not solid, but more like an orange-tinted translucent shape resembling a person. In another instance, the same apparition was caught lingering in his front yard in the dead of night. The faint glow and otherworldly presence matched the figure from his earlier encounter. Most people are calling it a shapeshifter, but shapeshifters are believed to be tangible entities capable of taking physical form. But this apparition doesn't fit the description. It's not corporeal, yet it repeatedly makes itself known to him in unmistakable ways. What could this be?
Воде просто трындец. Куда вот это заехали? Твою мать, что за наклон? Не знаю, видно нет, эта фигня крутится. Ты не снимаешь? Смерч сраный. Сейчас нас по ней пойдем.
Next, we've got this clip that was taken by some men at sea. They witnessed a strange transparent tube extending from the sky to the water's surface. Naturally, they were baffled by what they saw, and watching the clip, well, I was too. The tube, seemingly clear and shimmering, stretched down from the clouds, touching the ocean in a surreal and almost otherworldly display. No one can say for certain what this transparent tube is or what it could be doing. It's an enigmatic phenomenon that has left everyone scratching their heads. The footage has drawn a lot of attention, with various theories circulating online. One of the commenters on the original post stated, "There's a UFO above the clouds siphoning water out of the ocean through that vacuum tube you see here in the video." In this age of alien talk and increased interest in extraterrestrial phenomena, well, who's to say this comment isn't right, but I have questions. Why would they need water from our planet? Well, perhaps it's for research. And when you think about it, the idea of a UFO using some advanced technology to draw water from the ocean is as plausible as any other explanation, given the lack of concrete evidence. What are your thoughts on this, though? Do you think that there could be a more mundane explanation, or does this footage hint at something beyond our current understanding?
А что, нормально так-то?
Next, we've got a clip that was taken off the coast of New Hampshire. Some fishing boats were out on the sea when something incredible happened. The footage shows a boat ahead, and suddenly a massive whale appears out of the water and slams into it. Just look at that. The impact is powerful, sending the boat sinking into the water almost instantly. It's a dramatic and dangerous scene, and luckily it doesn't look like anyone was seriously injured. Naturally, a collision with such a large marine animal should cause serious injury or worse, but looks like they were lucky this time. Whales are magnificent creatures, but they can also be unpredictable, especially when they breach the water's surface. This video serves as a reminder of the immense power of nature and the importance of caution when out at sea. The fishermen on the other boats must have been in shock witnessing such a rare and intense event. This kind of encounter is not only dangerous but also incredibly rare, making it a moment they'll likely never forget. A hiker was out exploring the mountains when he stumbled upon something extraordinary. As he climbed higher into the highlands, he noticed a large creature perched on a massive rock. The creature had thick white fur and was sitting upright, almost human-like in posture. From its size and proportions, this was no ordinary animal. Its massive frame and humanoid shape resembled a Bigfoot. The sighting has stirred up quite a bit of speculation. Could this be an extremely rare version of the elusive Bigfoot, an albino variant? Many people have shared their theories, but no one has come up with a definitive explanation. What do you think? Possession. Most people see it as people getting taken over by some sort of entity or spirit. But is that really the case? Well, let's take a look at this footage. In the clip, a young man is seen writhing in a dirty gutter, his body thrashing wildly. No one knows what led to this moment or why he suddenly lost control. 1 minute he was fine, and the next he was flailing uncontrollably, eventually ending up in the gutter. The behavior is erratic and his movements seem unnatural, fueling the belief that this could be a case of demonic possession or spiritual influence. But skeptics say it could have been a medical condition or even a psychological break that caused his actions. What are your thoughts? Have you ever seen a swordfish attack a human? No? Well, our next clip will show you that their names aren't just for show. Enjoy. These men were out at sea catching some fish when something unexpected happened. One of them had hooked a fish and was reeling it in, but the fish began to jump wildly in and out of the water. Before they knew it, the fish was inside the boat, thrashing about furiously. The commotion was intense as the fish flailed around the deck. It was a close call because this fish had a pointed mouth and was quite sizable, which could have caused serious injury. One of the men lost his balance and nearly fell overboard, but fortunately he landed back in the boat. I know I mentioned a swordfish earlier, but this isn't one. Despite their similar appearance, this is actually a blue marlin. Blue marlins are renowned for their incredible strength and agility, making them quite a handful when caught. Their long, sharp bills can be dangerous, making encounters like this particularly risky. If you ask me, they're quite lucky to have escaped the encounter without anyone being fatally wounded. There's no doubt that the experience left them both exhilarated and shaken. Our next clip is one that has been circulating the internet for a while. It's said to have been taken by a man out in Antarctica. He was out there in the snow when he came across this mysterious cave. The inside of the cave looked like a spiral of black and white lines, creating a dizzying, almost hypnotic effect. But what could this cave be? One popular theory is that the cave might be an ancient structure possibly created by an advanced civilization or even extraterrestrial beings. There are some who also think it's the site of a secret government project and wonder why and how the man was able to get that close. For the longest time, people have believed that Antarctica is a place of many secrets. Perhaps this could be one of them. Unfortunately, the person behind the camera does not go inside to confirm the suspicion, so all we can do is only speculate. But what do you think is in there?
Look at that. 9/27/24.
Still on Bizarre Captures, we travel back in time to the 27th of September of this year when a man captured a video of something truly unusual in the sky. In the clip, you can see a bright circular pattern glowing in the sky. According to the man who filmed it, the strange otherworldly sight resembled some kind of portal. Many in the community shared this perspective and started to debate what could have come or gone through it. While everyone shared their thoughts with excitement, Julius showed up claiming that what we were seeing was nothing more than a sundog. If this is your first time hearing the term, as it was mine when he mentioned it, it's a common atmospheric phenomenon caused by sunlight interacting with ice crystals in the atmosphere. Sundogs typically create bright spots or halos near the sun, which could explain the shape. While this sounds logical and scientific, you must still agree with me that the whole thing just looks otherworldly. Could there be more to this than science has discovered?
Look at that. 9/27/24.
We start today's episode in a theater, and it's not all what you're thinking. Well, if you're thinking something spooky happened, well, then you're right.
There's the ghost light. It's a light we keep on for ghosts, for people who still remain here and whatnot. And, what the What is that?
So the young man you see on your screen was in the theater when he started hearing strange noises. Usually, this is normal in a theater, but not when it's closed and you're supposed to be alone. After enduring the sound for a bit, he decided to step out and investigate. He decided to film the investigation just in case he caught someone breaking in. He explores the theater, shows us the ghost light meant to fish out people who stay after the theater had closed. As he pans the camera, he notices something, but it's not exactly clear. He gets closer to take a better look, and then he sees it. It's some sort of puppet, and it's staring down at him. At least, that's what I thought I saw. Naturally, he freaks out and eventually uploads it onto the internet. While going through the comments of the original post, I realized some said they saw a woman, whereas others saw a kid or a teenager. You guys have seen the clip. What do you also see? But more importantly, do you think this is legit, or do you think he's trying to get his 5 minutes of fame? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments section. This footage was taken this year in Orlando, Florida. A man spotted this colorful, almost transparent diamond-shaped object in the sky. The sighting has sparked quite a debate. Some people are convinced that this is a UFO, an extraterrestrial craft visiting Earth. The object's unique shape, vibrant colors, and semi-transparent appearance are unlike anything typically seen in the skies, leading to many believe it must be of alien origin. On the other hand, skeptics argue that this could simply be a holographic projection. While advances in holographic technology create realistic three-dimensional images in the sky, it's becoming increasingly possible. Events and promotional stunts have utilized such technology, projecting detailed and eye-catching visuals to capture audiences. The unusual characteristics of the object, its transparency and the way it seems to shimmer and change color, could be indicative of a high-quality holographic display. There's also the possibility of Project Bluebeam being responsible, but then again, I could just be overthinking things. So what do you guys think is going on here? Do you believe you are a daredevil or know anyone who is? Would any of you be willing to try this? Yeah, that's a lady going up some stairs that are deserving of the title The Stairway to Heaven. Now, I can tell you where this is and why it's so, but thought we'd make this interactive. Which one of you knows where this clip is from and why the stairs there appear like this? If anyone gives an answer Julius approves, maybe, just maybe, you could have a merch with your name on it, assuming Aaron accepts as well. May the best man or woman win. When it comes to tales of spirits, science often explains these things away as nothing more than frequencies, waves, or illusions. But did you know that some of the world's most brilliant scientists and inventors speculated that these so-called spirits, entities, and higher beings might actually exist? Yes, Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison, two of history's greatest minds, were among those who entertained such beliefs. Back in 1901, Nikola Tesla published an article titled Talking with the Planets, where he claimed to have made contact with entities from beyond Earth. Using a device he created, Tesla reported hearing strange voices that sounded like beings communicating in an unknown language. Similarly, Thomas Edison, known for his revolutionary inventions, worked on something he called the spirit phone. This device, according to him, was designed to help communicate with spirits from the beyond. The audio you're hearing now is a representation of what Tesla described hearing: mysterious, otherworldly signals. What do you think? Could these scientists' legends have been onto something? I know you're tempted to think this is some devil worship, but it's not. Welcome to the Krampus parades, or Krampusschlaf. If you're hearing it for the first time, it refers to the traditional alpine events in Austria, Germany, and nearby regions where performers dressed as the terrifying Krampus storm through the streets to scare and entertain. Wearing elaborate wooden masks, fur costumes, and clanging cowbells, these Krampuses chase spectators, creating a mix of fear and excitement. Rooted in pre-Christian pagan traditions, the parades celebrate Krampus, the demonic counterpart of St. Nicholas who punishes naughty children. It's often held in December around St. Nicholas Day. These wild events are filled with roaring, laughter, and fire-lit spectacles, blending folklore with festive fun. Is this something you would want to attend? This footage was taken on Christmas Island, and what you're looking at is not ants, but millions of crabs migrating from the water onto the island. These crabs are so small that they might look like spiders at first glance, but they're definitely crabs. Christmas Island is famous for this incredible natural phenomena. Each year, millions of red crabs make their way from the forest to the ocean to spawn. During this migration, the crabs cover the island, turning roads, beaches, and even people's yards into a sea of moving red. In the footage, you can see them swarming over every available surface. Despite their small size, their sheer numbers create an almost surreal scene. It's as if the ground itself is alive and moving. It's a fascinating and slightly eerie sight, as these tiny creatures seem to overwhelm everything in their path. The crabs are driven by a strong instinct to reproduce. They leave their burrows in the forest and head toward the sea to lay their eggs. This mass migration is triggered by the onset of the rainy season, which provides the moist conditions they need to survive the journey. There are allegedly many secrets in this world that we, the regular people, do not know and cannot understand. One intriguing example involves this man who took a €100 bill and put it under a microscope. First, he zoomed in on the image of the bridge. Just above the bridge, he noticed a tiny disc-shaped object that looked remarkably like a UFO. Intrigued, he continued to examine other parts of the bill. When he zoomed in on the purple-colored inscription of 100 in the corner of the bill, he saw something even more surprising, the head of an alien with large black eyes. As he explored further, he found strange vertical markings on another side of the note. These markings resembled the digital rain of numbers from the Matrix movie, with a line vertically crossing through them. These were just a few of the unusual details he discovered. While I don't know how credible these findings are, if these symbols and images are indeed present on the €100 note, it raises many questions. Why would such images be placed there? What purposes do they serve? Are they meant to convey a message to those in the know, or are they simply a form of artistic expression? Also, if you've gone on one of those bills at home, could you check if yours has the same features? Our next clip was captured on a home ring camera on an 8th of December 2024. It did capture some truly bizarre footage that has left viewers stunned. Take a look. In the dark night, two glowing lights appear, flying silently across. One is in the lead, with the other following closely behind. Although the craft itself is invisible due to the darkness, the brightness of these lights is enough to suggest that something unusual is in the air. Now, let's think about this. It's highly unlikely that someone was out at this hour releasing fireworks. Not only do these lights lack the erratic bursts of fireworks, but they also move steadily across the sky in what appears to be a controlled manner. So could this be evidence of a UFO, or is there a more mundane explanation? Aaron, our in-house conspiracy expert, doesn't seem to think so, but what say you? A woman was standing on the side of the road when she experienced something truly baffling. She noticed, reflected in the glass near her, a car approaching her from the front. The headlights and the motion were clear, and it seemed like the car was heading straight toward her position. But then, as the car got closer, something inexplicable happened. Instead of coming from the front, as the reflection had indicated, the car suddenly appeared from behind her. It passed her from behind and drove away, leaving her stunned and confused. How could this be possible? Was it an optical illusion caused by the glass, or could it be something even stranger like a glitch? Julius looked at me funny after I said all this and asked me if I knew how reflections worked. Guys, is my paranormally blessed brain causing me to miss something? We've handled strange and bizarre creatures, but none have ever looked like this. The first thing that came to mind when I saw it was Spider-Man in the black Venom suit. But that's fiction. This is allegedly real life. After a few seconds, I see the rest of the creature, at least half of it. And I must say, it's not at all what I expected. It looks like an ant, and at the same time, well, it doesn't. I wanted to believe this is real, but something about it just screams AI. Do you hear it too, or am I just being a skeptic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. In South Africa, there is a remarkable feature known as the footprint of God, a giant footprint embedded in granite. The footprint is incredibly well defined. It clearly shows the shape of the toes, the arch, and the heel, making it look strikingly similar to a human foot but on an enormous scale. The sheer size of the footprint suggests that if it belonged to a human-like creature, the creature would have been many times larger than any known human. Geologists have dated the granite in which the footprint is embedded to be millions of years old. It implies that the print was made long before humans are thought to have existed on Earth. Does this confirm the myths and legends from various cultures around the world that speak of giant beings? Well, it's hard to say, but these stories might have roots in real historical events or creatures. What do you think?
See that? There's nobody there. Automation. I work at an automated dock. All these machines right here, there's no people. Hardly any people on this thing. This is what they're fighting about. I work at an automated dock right here, Port of LA, Long Beach. Keep fighting, brothers. Keep fighting.
It's undeniable that technology has greatly enhanced our workforce, making tasks faster, more efficient, and often safer. But let's not forget the other side of this coin. Technology is also replacing jobs, leaving many workers out of work. Take a look at this footage, captured by one of the workers at a port. In the video, you'll notice something striking. There are no humans in sight. Instead, it's just machines fully automated, taking on the tasks that were once done by men and women. This is exactly why port strikes are happening. Workers are being replaced and their livelihoods are at stake. But what happens when the few human roles left at these ports are taken over by machines? Where do those thousands of workers go? What becomes of the people who were sent home as technology continues to advance and take over? This is the harsh reality we are facing, and it's a question worth asking as we move forward into a more automated world.
See that? There's nobody there. Automation. I work at an automated dock. All these machines right here, there's no people. Hardly any people on this thing. This is what they're fighting about. I work at an automated dock right here, Port of LA, Long Beach. Keep fighting, brothers. Keep fighting.
Guys, look at all these Cybertrucks and Teslas. No one's driving that? No one is in that car.
Nobody walked over here. Wait. There's nobody in these. What the heck? That car just sped off. There's no one in it.
How'd you feel about Tesla cars and Cybertrucks? They're quite innovative with their self-driving features, but to be honest, they kind of freak me out sometimes. Take this, for example. A group of people were driving by an alleged abandoned parking lot when they came across something eerie. The entire lot was filled with Teslas and Cybertrucks, and here's the strange part. They were all moving, but no one was inside them. These cars were just rolling around on their own, gliding through the lot as if something was controlling them. What's even more unsettling is that it looked like the cars had been left there, abandoned. Why would an entire lot be full of self-driving vehicles like this, and what could be causing them to move around? Julius has a theory it's a testing site for these vehicles. That sounds logical, but what say you guys?
Guys, look at all these Cybertrucks and Teslas. No one's driving that? No one is in that car.
Nobody walked over here. Wait. There's nobody in these. What the heck? That car just sped off. There's no one in it.
El que habita la brecha.
Now, speaking of possession, this strange-looking girl is said to be possessed. She's been in this state for months, and despite the efforts of numerous priests and spiritual healers, no one has been able to help her. Her appearance has drastically changed over this period. Her face has taken on an eerie, almost inhuman look. Her teeth have transformed, looking sharp and unnatural. Her eyes have a glossy, otherworldly sheen, adding to her unsettling appearance. What's even more disturbing is her behavior. She frequently screams out, seemingly in pain or terror, sending chills down the spines of those who hear her. These outbursts are unpredictable and add to the fear surrounding her condition. Her family and friends are desperate, having tried everything they can think of to help her. They've turned to every possible source, from traditional religious rituals to modern medical treatments, but nothing seems to work. In the clip, for instance, there's a man apparently praying for her and trying to cast out the demon or whatever it is that's haunting her. The more the man tries and tries, the more she shouts, "Shut up!" In the end, it doesn't really work, and the community is left in a state of fear and confusion, unsure of what to do next. Some people believe she is genuinely possessed by a demonic entity, pointing to her unhuman features and terrifying behavior as evidence. Skeptics, on the other hand, suggest that there might be a medical or psychological explanation for her condition. What say you?
El que habita la
It's not every day you run into someone doing what this lady is doing. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but that woman is actually eating raw fish. The person who sent this in thought she was eating a pigeon, but no, it's raw fish. Not that it makes it any better. With the internet being the internet, a number of individuals have come forward to state that there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. The big question, however, is that really true? This person, for instance, thinks it's no different from sushi, and many agreed with him. What do you think?
Yo,
this is crazy. So this is April, 14th?
Take a look at this footage from 2023, shared by a resident in Oklahoma. It starts with this strange object hovering in the sky above his house. At first glance, you might think it's something falling from space, but there is no fire, just a bright, tiny orb surrounded by a cloud of white smoke, leaving a smoky trail behind it. As you watch, the smoke begins to spread and slowly dissipates, leaving the shiny orb still floating in the sky. It just hovers there for a while, but then something even stranger happens. The orb starts emitting more of that white smoke, almost as if it's pulsing out of the object. And during this entire eerie spectacle, you can hear the sound of sirens going off in the background, adding to the tension. What could possibly be going on here? A meteor, space debris, or could it be something more mysterious, maybe even otherworldly?
Yo, this is crazy. So this is April, 14th?
No, I don't like you people to use chemicals. We use natural food.
Yeah.
Which heals. Can I tell you?
Yeah.
This is produced by chemicals.
It is. It's very true.
You are putting chemicals in your body. When you say it, you don't care what will happen. You are saying, I'm wearing a good shirt.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That you are practicing witchcraft on your body yourself with your mind. So people don't think about that.
We mostly worry about what we put into our bodies, questioning the safety of the food we eat and the chemicals used in its production. But how often do we stop to consider the clothes we wear? This man visited a remote village in Africa and interviewed one of the elders. The man wore clothing made from gazelle skin. As he talked, the elder shared a thought-provoking perspective. He stated that our clothes today are often manufactured using synthetic fibers and treated with a cocktail of chemicals, from dyes to preservatives. These chemicals, in turn, come into direct contact with our skin daily. When you think about it, you realize that just as we worry about the toxins we consume through food, it's worth considering what we absorb through our skin when we wear chemically treated fabrics. But do tell me, do you think our clothing is harming us in ways we haven't even considered? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section.
This is produced by chemicals.
It is. It's very true.
You are putting chemicals in your body. When you say it, you don't care what will happen. You are saying, I'm wearing a good shirt.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That you are practicing witchcraft on your body yourself with your mind. So people don't think about that.
Light orbs are one of the most enigmatic phenomena that have been studied all over the world. In this footage, a man was out one night on his farm when he noticed something strange. There was an orb floating over the cornfield. He tries to get a better look at the orb, but it just floats away, evading his approach. These orbs continue to baffle and intrigue people. Some believe that they're alien-related, perhaps representing some form of extraterrestrial technology or presence, while skeptics, on the other hand, argue that these orbs are ordinary and/or can be explained by natural phenomena. There is something about this footage, however, that gives me the creeps. The way the orbs move so deliberately and silently over the cornfield and the way it seems to respond to the man's presence by floating away all contribute to its eerie nature. What do you think? A man woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom when he saw something strange in his backyard. A coconut tree stood in the distance, stripped of all its leaves and branches, leaving only a long, bare trunk. What caught the man's eye, however, was the unusual sight perched atop the trunk, a goat-like creature sitting at the very peak. Coconut trees are known for their great height and smooth trunks, making them nearly impossible to climb. There was nothing around that could assist any creature in reaching the top, yet there he was sitting at the top. What made the sight even more chilling was that they had no animals, no goats, no pets at all. The man thought about waking his family, but was unsure if they would believe him or if they could even do anything about it. The creature remained there for what felt like an eternity, though it was likely only a few minutes. For some odd reason, he went back inside and somehow managed to sleep. The next morning, he went outside to investigate, but the creature was gone. There were no tracks, no signs of how it got there or how it left. The only remnant of the creature's visit is this clip, and not many even think it's authentic. What say you? Let me tell you about this intriguing and hauntingly beautiful place, the island of Gaiola. It's off the coast of Naples, Italy. This small, picturesque island looks like a slice of paradise with its quaint charm and clear blue waters surrounding it. But don't let its serene appearance fool you. This island is said to carry a dark curse. The stories surrounding Gaiola are as mysterious as the island itself. Tragedy seems to follow its owners. Back in the 1920s, the owner at the time, a man named Hans Brons, met a gruesome end. He was found dead, wrapped in a carpet, under circumstances that remain murky. Not long after, his wife tragically drowned in the sea surrounding the island. But the misfortune did not stop there. A German industrialist who later bought the island succumbed to a fatal heart attack while staying there. Another owner, a Swiss writer, fell into despair and took his own life in a mental hospital. These stories are not all. Nearly every person who's owned it has faced some form of calamity. So is it a mere coincidence, or does this island indeed harbor a curse? Let's take a look at this next image. It's quite blurry, but there's something eerie going on here. This photograph was taken by a woman back in 2007. She was walking through an alley late at night when she started feeling uneasy. According to her, there was no one around. She kept looking back but didn't see anything unusual. Feeling alarmed, she held her phone behind her and snapped a few pictures as she continued walking. When she got home and examined the photos, that's when she noticed this. On the left side of the image, there's a shadowy figure. It looks like a person wearing a long coat, but it has an almost ghostly appearance. At first, you might miss it, but once you see it, it's hard to ignore. Just look at that. What could this figure be? The woman could not explain it, and to this day, she's no idea who or what was following her that night. While on a cruise ship in the Gulf of Mexico, a group of men captured some intriguing footage in the sky. was after sundown, so the sky was dark. Amid the darkness, they spotted an orb of light flying across the sky. The orb moved from left to right, then circled back to the left in a smooth, deliberate motion. The men were convinced this light was some sort of UFO. The light was steady and bright, standing out clearly against the night sky. In times like these, it's fascinating to think about the possibilities. Was it a secret military craft, an advanced drone, or perhaps something more extraterrestrial? Aaron states it being an angel is an alternative, but Julius isn't so sure. Anyway, kindly share your thoughts. A man was sitting at home one night, sitting behind his computer. He was filming at the time when his camera captured something eerie at the window behind him. It seemed the man saw it too because he quickly got up and went outside to check if what he saw was still there, but by the time he got there, it was gone. Now, I know what you're wondering. You're wondering what he saw. Let's take a closer look at the footage in slow motion. It was a large, pale, alien-like head with huge black eyes peering right into the room through the glass window. As soon as the man noticed the creature, it swiftly vanished without a trace. The sighting lasted only a few minutes, but it was enough to leave a lasting impression. The creature's face was unmistakable, smooth, almost featureless, except for those enormous black, unblinking eyes. The man's reaction was immediate and understandable. Seeing something so strange and unsettling would send anyone rushing to investigate. Yet when he stepped outside, the mysterious figure had disappeared, leaving behind no evidence of its presence. Some find him filming just a bit too convenient, leading them to believe this footage is fake. What say you? Water is a fundamental part of life on Earth, but here's a fascinating fact. Scientists believe that much of the water on our planet is older than the sun itself. Yeah, you heard that right. Older than the very star at the center of our solar system. Research suggests that water in the form of ice originated in interstellar space long before the sun and planets formed. It likely came from the solar nebula in its massive cloud of gas and dust that eventually coalesced to form our solar system. This ice carried in ancient molecules dating back billions of years, which eventually became part of Earth's oceans and other water systems. This doesn't mean Earth itself is older than the sun, but rather that the ingredients making up its water existed long before our solar system took shape. There are cultures that believe that our solar system once inhabited a superior race until a cataclysmic event wiped them out and restarted life as we know it, with humans being the superior race. If we're to believe this, those cultures are not entirely wrong. What do you think? Disney has long been a hotbed for conspiracy theories, and some of them are quite unsettling. Let's take a look at a few examples. One of the most discussed topics involves Mickey Mouse himself. When the iconic Mickey Mouse silhouette is turned upside down, it spells the word wicked. This has led people to question whether there was a hidden message in Disney's designs. Then there's the Walt Disney signature. The way the letters W, D, and Y are styled bears a resemblance to the number 6. Put together, some interpret this as a covert reference to 666. Are these subliminal messages deliberately placed to hint at secret affiliations, or are they just coincidences blown out of proportion? A man was driving home one night when he saw something ahead of him in the sky. It was a dark figure floating ominously. The figure didn't look human, just an odd shape of a dark entity suspended in the air. It had an almost translucent look, adding to its eerie appearance. The scared man drove slowly beneath the entity, trying to make sense of what he was seeing, and then hurried home as fast as he could. In situations like this, Julius would likely dismiss it as just a cloth tied up there, but there was no indication of wires or anything holding it up. Plus, it wasn't swaying like a cloth would in the wind. Aaron, on the other hand, believes this is some kind of entity. The strange appearance and the way it floated without any visible means of support make it hard to explain away as something mundane. What do you think? Would you believe me if I told you I watched this clip at least a dozen times before penning down my thoughts on it? I mean, when you start to watch the clip, the creature in it looks like a dog, but as soon as you zoom in, you aren't sure what you're looking at. It appears to be half dog, half human. Aaron, on seeing this clip, shouted, "Skinwalker!" Looking at the clip now, I understand why he would think that, but is it really a skinwalker though? Julius, our science whiz, thinks not. He believes this is nothing more than a mangy cat. To support his argument, he points out that the cat is the only blurred thing in the footage and everything else is clear. He adds that if it was really a skinwalker, the clip wouldn't have been digitally manipulated to make the object of interest blur. As always, Julius sounds logical, but Aaron thinks the skinwalkers may have some sort of superpower that makes them invisible to cameras, hence the blurry nature of the creature. We don't call Aaron our conspiracy theorist for nothing. Now, having heard both sides, they want me to accept one, but thought I'd leave it up to you guys. What do you think? Moving on, we have this chilling image taken by a man who decided to explore an abandoned building one night. Venturing out alone, he got closer to the eerie structure when something caught his eye. It was a creature crouched on the ground in front of the building. According to the man, the creature ran off as soon as it noticed him, but not before he managed to snap this photo. I've looked at it several times and I'm not able to confidently make out what it might be. You see it on your screens too. What do you think we're dealing with? A hunter was out in the woods tracking deer when he suddenly saw something strange walking just meters away from him. Completely stunned by the sight, he quickly gathered his composure and managed to take this picture. The creature, estimated to be 8 feet tall or even more, casually strolled by. Take a good look. Most people are convinced it's Bigfoot. Naturally, with all the recent Bigfoot clips, everyone's wondering if this is the real deal. This fish was spotted in Albania after a heavy snowstorm when the ground was all iced up. Despite the freezing conditions, the fish was very much alive and not frozen to death. What makes this sight even more bizarre was that the fish was upright, standing on its pelvic fin. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but the person who took this footage insists that the fish was walking. Fish walking? That's certainly a new one. Seeing a fish moving around on land, especially in such cold weather, raises a lot of questions. How could it survive the icy conditions, and how was it able to move? Fish are aquatic creatures, not designed to walk on land, especially on their fins. Experts and curious onlookers have been scratching their heads over this one. Some speculate that certain fish, like the mud skipper, can move on land using their pectoral fins, but those are typically found in warmer climates, not in the icy conditions of Albania. Others suggest that the fish might have been displaced by the storm and somehow managed to survive out of water. However, its ability to remain alive and move around in such harsh conditions is still a mystery. Could this be a new adaptation or an undiscovered behavior of the species? Share your thoughts. No, I can't move to the next clip without mentioning Julius thinks it's edited footage. Of course. Now the world is so caught up in technology that when anything goes wrong, like power outages or software crashes, everyone starts to panic because we have everything saved on the internet. Recently, there was a significant crash in the cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike's software. This happened right after an update was made to the system, leading to a lot of problems for institutions that rely on CrowdStrike. Some believe that the crash was deliberately orchestrated, while others insist it was not. The truth is, we're still uncertain about the exact cause. Nonetheless, the crash was very scary. The impact was immediate and widespread. Companies and organizations that depend on CrowdStrike for their cybersecurity found themselves vulnerable. There were reports of data breaches, system malfunctions, and an overall sense of chaos as IT departments scrambled to mitigate the damage. Imagine the panic in a world where so much of our personal, professional, and financial information is stored online. A crash like this can disrupt businesses, halt financial transactions, and even compromise sensitive data. The fear of such vulnerabilities highlights how dependent we have become on these technologies and the companies that manage them. CrowdStrike, known for its cutting-edge cybersecurity solutions, suddenly found itself in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Next, we've got this footage from a home security camera set up in the kitchen. In the clip, a woman is busy doing something when out of nowhere, the lower compartment of the fridge starts to open and close on its own. The woman, visibly startled, turns around to face the fridge, and her reaction is priceless. You can tell she's completely freaked out. She doesn't waste any time either. She fast walks right out of the kitchen, clearly not wanting to stick around to see what might happen next. Here's where it gets even weirder. After she leaves, the fridge continues its bizarre behavior, opening and closing all on its own, as if controlled by an invisible force. Most people believe this is ghost activity, but what do you think? Wow, and yes, that's a man lying next to a massive bone. Before you scream giant, it's rumored to be the thigh bone of a titanosaur. This gigantic bone was discovered back in 2013 by a farmer in Argentina. He noticed part of it was sticking out of the ground, and that's when the experts were called in to dig it out. What they unearthed was an 8-foot-tall bone. It's nearly the same height as the man lying beside it, which really puts in a perspective just how colossal these creatures once were. Titanosaurs are believed to have been some of the largest dinosaurs to ever walk the earth, and this bone alone speaks to their sheer size. It's mind-blowing to think that something this enormous was roaming our planet millions of years ago. Mesmerizing, right? The next footage is said to be a real-life UFO. There was no context to it, but it looks very real. Take a look. There is this very large craft, disc-shaped, The disk shape is classic, reminiscent of many UFO sightings reported over the years. The lack of context makes it even more intriguing. Where was this filmed? Who captured it? Well, we don't have answers, but under the comments of the original post, someone had this to say. We're not exactly sure where he got this information from, but there can only be two things involved here. Either he's trolling us so bad, or he's actually onto something. Next up, we've got supposed alien footage from Long Island, New York. Let's take a look. In the footage, we see a strange entity walking by, holding something in its hands. When you look closely, you'll notice this is not human. It features an eerie, alien-like, large, elongated head with what looks like big black eyes, fitting the total description of an alien. In its hand is a glowing object that appears to be covered. Anyone who sees this footage is quick to say it's an alien holding a baby. We haven't confirmed if it's true that someone's baby is missing after the incident, but there are plenty of stories about alien abductions. Others speculate that this could be a demon. Julius, however, believes this is either a person in a costume stealing at night or doctored footage meant to fool those who watch it. We all know how much he is against all the alien and mystical talk, so no surprises here, but what do you think? Now let's plunge into the mysterious depths of the ocean. A deep-sea camera positioned 421 meters underwater was quietly filming a squid when something extraordinary happened. Out of nowhere, a burst of light streaked across the screen, moving downward at an incredible speed. It was bright, luminous, and eerily swift, leaving scientists and viewers alike stunned. What could this be? Could it be a bioluminescent creature, a species yet to be discovered with abilities that seem almost otherworldly? Or perhaps it's something entirely different, like sonoluminescence, a phenomenon where intense sound waves in liquid create brief flashes of light. Take a closer look. What do you think? A new deep-sea life form, a natural phenomenon, or something we have never seen or began to understand? Let us know your theories below. Do you see anything unusual? No? Well, take a look at the left side of the capture. Do you see it now? A family went out but realized their home security cameras were picking up movements. This prompted them to review the clip, and they saw what looked like a ghostly girl standing in the corner. They asked it to get out, but perhaps, if it were me, I'd be the one getting out, because I don't think I'd be winning in a battle with an evil spirit. What say you? If aliens do exist, then they must certainly be hiding from us. This footage was taken in the sky, showing donut-shaped discs in the clouds. They were positioned opposite each other and slanted away from each other. They had a reddish-orange hue and were just there suspended in the sky. Looking at the odd disc-like shape, many people believe there are clouds where UFOs are cloaked from human eyes. The unusual formation and the distinctive hue have fueled speculation that these could be alien spacecraft using advanced technology to blend in with their surroundings. On the other hand, skeptics like Julius argue that these are just lenticular clouds. Lenticular clouds often form in the atmosphere when moist air flows over mountains or other obstacles, creating a lens-like shape that can sometimes appear quite unusual. So what are your thoughts? Are those alien crafts up there, or are these just clouds? AI is getting very good, so far so good that it's getting increasingly difficult to distinguish between AI-generated content and real life. However, some people believe that AI can never truly replicate the nuances of reality. Take a look at this footage and tell me it doesn't look real. It's a video of a pig underwater with all four legs, but with a fishtail. Yes, it seems very unrealistic, a pig fish, whimsical and bizarre. But just look at the quality of the footage. It looks incredibly real. The attention to detail in the video, such as the way light refracts through the water and the seamless integration of the pig's body with the fishtail, demonstrates the impressive capabilities of modern AI and CGI technology. Now imagine what AI will be able to create in just a few years. Let's take a look at this next footage captured by a trail camera deep in the woods. At first, the video seems pretty ordinary. You see a deer grazing peacefully, minding its own business. But then, out of nowhere, something startles it. The deer looks up, freezes for a moment, and then bolts away as fast as it can. Now, deer are naturally jumpy creatures. As prey animals, they're hyper-aware of any sudden movements or sounds. But what could have spooked this one? At first, there doesn't seem to appear to be anything out of the ordinary. The other side of the woods looks calm and empty. However, zooming into the area where the deer was looking, you can make out a shadowy figure. It's faint, but it's shaped like a person moving through the trees. Could it be a hiker? Maybe. Perhaps a ghost hiker. When you hear Appalachian, you already know the story is about to take a wild turn. This footage was shared by a resident living near the Appalachian Mountains. Late at night, he was returning home when he noticed something strange in his neighbor's driveway. There on the lawn was the shape of what seemed to be an invisible creature. The faint outline of its form could just be made out, but it didn't seem to make sense. He stared at it for a while before realizing it looked like a goat standing there calmly munching on his neighbor's lawn. Take a look. Do you also see a goat or something else? Imagine driving and seeing everyone stopping and coming out of their cars with their phones in their hands. You try to see what they are so intrigued by, and then you see this.
Espera, ni idea. A mí no se mueve de ahí.
That's definitely not a Boeing, fighter jet, or any other type of plane we're used to. It definitely has to be of alien origin. I mean, it has that vibe, and people wouldn't be out of their cars recording an ordinary plane, unless, of course, the clip is doctored. Aaron doesn't think so, and Julius refused to comment because he thought we were just being ridiculous. Well, you've seen the clip. What do you think's going on here?
Ni idea. A mí no se mueve de ahí.
Olha, bicho, que é isso, mano? Cuidado, Judá. Cuidado, mano. Que é isso, mano?
Mano, não tem nada.
Caralho, mano. Que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano. Mano, que é isso, bicho? Caralho, mano. Bora, mano.
Late one night, police in a quiet area were called by residents about banging sounds coming from a building. Concerned, they suited up, grabbed their guns, and went to check it out. As you can see in the footage, it's pretty late. When they arrived, the banging noise was still ongoing, echoing through their empty street. It was coming from a door that was repeatedly opening and closing. One of the officers cautiously approached the door, stepping through first while the rest followed. The person filming also entered and turned back to see if there was someone behind the door causing the banging, but there was no one. The wind wasn't blowing, and the door was wooden and heavy. As they stood there, the door continued its eerie motion, creaking and banging without any visible force acting on it. The officers checked the surroundings, looking for any sign of tampering or natural causes, but everything seemed normal. After a while, things got really weird, and that spooks the officers. As they hurriedly tried to get out of the place, one of them's body cam captures something rather eerie and disturbing. We only see a face, but not what it is. Could this being have been behind the whole thing, or are we just reading more meaning into things than we should? I'll leave that up to you to decide.
Vai, mano, vai, mano. Vai, vai, mano.
And I see these. He's like throwing an angel baby on the floor or through the roof. It's like little, but it has horns on top.
A woman was walking by a building in Fresno when she noticed something strange. On this building, there were some rather odd-looking statues. The statues were strange and unsettling. One of them appeared to be a winged creature, almost like a gargoyle, tossing a baby angel. There were other equally eerie statues, along with some unusual paintings covering the building's exterior. What could this all mean? Some are speculating that it could be linked to a cult or some kind of hidden symbolism. What do you make of this?
And I see these. He's like throwing an angel baby on the floor or through the roof. It's like little, but it has horns on top.
Here we have another heartbreaking story of an animal lost to extinction, the kauai, a bird native to Hawaii. This species officially went extinct in 1987, and the last known individual, a male, was seen in 1989. The kauai was once known for its distinctive flute-like song that echoed through the Hawaiian forests. However, as their numbers dwindled due to habitat destruction, invasive species, and other environmental threats, this poor bird found itself utterly alone. In a final, heart-wrenching moment, the last male was recorded singing a mating call, hoping to attract a female that no longer existed. Do you like being watched when you're out in town? No? What about when you're in your home? Would you appreciate someone peeping into your home? If the answer is no, then you might find this clip on your screen a bit worrying. Ashley noticed that her neighbor had been watching her any time she left or entered her home. There was always the shadowy being staring in her direction from the window, and it made her uncomfortable. She's tried different things to deter them and has gone as far as showing her headlights directly at the neighbor's window, but he just stands there and stares. She shared the story, hoping to get insights on what she could do, and many who heard her plight told her that the neighbor might just be nosy, curious, or lonely. There was still a small sect who stated he might be dangerous. One even said she had gone through such an ordeal that the individual eventually broke in. If you were Ashley, what would you do? Someone captured footage of a strange, unidentified flying object in the sky. At first glance, it might seem too good to be true, but before we jump to conclusions about whether it's fake or edited, let's take a closer look. As the footage is enhanced, you'll notice that this object appears to be solid, reflective, and metallic, floating in the sky without any visible wings or propellers. It doesn't resemble a typical aircraft or drone, which makes this sighting even more intriguing. Some speculate that it could be a classified military aircraft or an advanced drone, but so far, no official explanation has been given. What do you think? Are we looking at a piece of advanced human technology, or could this be something not of this world? Speaking of things I need your help explaining, take a look at this. I'm pretty sure I may have shared this in the past, but it's starting to go around again in the paranormal community. The individual recording was allegedly waiting for his DoorDash when he noticed this being outside his window. After a while, he heard knocks and went to check if the DoorDash had arrived, but it hadn't. Instead, it was this being or thing or entity watching him from a distance. Naturally, he was spooked, which led him to record his experience. Do you think this is real, though? If you do, what do you think that is? Ancient structures have always sparked questions. How did they build these massive monuments with such precision? Even today, with all our technology, recreating them would be incredibly difficult. Back then, they had basic materials, clay, water, and primitive tools evolving slowly over time, yet somehow they created structures that still baffle engineers. Now look at this. Someone visiting an ancient site made of clay or sand. Watch as he slides his hand through the gap between the door and the door frame. His entire hand goes through smoothly. The fit is flawless. Think about modern doors for a second. The gap between the door and the frame is barely visible. Your pinky can hardly squeeze through, but here the measurements are perfectly straight. No deviation, no error. How did they achieve this level of precision thousands of years ago? That's what people can't stop asking. Some believe there was advanced technology that we've lost access to, knowledge that disappeared somewhere in history. Others point to the theory that these structures weren't built by people our size at all, that giants once walked the earth and built on a scale that matched their stature. So what do you think? What's your take? Lost technology or something else entirely? Maybe there was a scroll somewhere in the Library of Alexandria that showed exactly how this was done. You never know, huh? Anyway, with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go with our clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't, well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. Man, we can't wait to receive what you have. My name's Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now, do me a favor and share this with everyone. Everyone you love. Everyone that annoys the hell out of you. We don't care. Just give us some love because we love you. I'll see you in the next one.